Hey guys, so this is why people are just exhausted with modern comics and shows and movies because they're taking things that really don't. Storm. When you think of Storm, what do you think of? Do you think of some weak-willed, barely noticed kind of character? No. But here, X-Men 97 showrunner Beau DeMayo says we will see a badass Storm in the series. I'm sorry. When was she not badass? Am I missing something here? I'm sorry. What? What do you mean we will see a did Storm not exist before this moment in time? Have we never seen this character before and you're telling us what they're going to like Storm is arguably the most powerful and dangerous member of the team. I mean, apart from, Jean, especially Phoenix Force, Jean. Um Rogue is actually, I mean, why do you think she has to wear the gloves all the time? Come on. But Storm, exceptionally badass. The chick can hit you with lightning from like 50 miles away. You're not going to see that crap coming. But nowadays, she was already badass. But nowadays, in a modern sense, she's going to be badass because she's going to put the men in their place. So be prepared for Logan and Hank and Scott and Charles all to be constantly berated and emasculated by this woman. Ugh, you men wouldn't be able to do anything with us here without us here. That's what badass means for them. Just putting men in their place. You don't need to do that shit to be a badass. I bring up Lord of the Rings with Galadriel. Rings of Power, they made her a warrior, which she never was. In the books, in the movies, her name alone commanded respect. Her reputation alone. And that is badass. In current times, I think of like uh, Zelda in Tears of the Kingdom. That Zelda is badass. The chick who knows that turning herself into a dragon may never be reversed, that she will lose herself completely, that she doesn't know how long she'd have to stay like that, and even if she didn't even know if her plan would succeed. But she turned into a dragon in the hopes that she could imbue the Master Sword with enough divine energy to restore it, and not only that, but then get it to Link into the future, like tens of thousands of years in the future. So without her help, Link never would have defeated Ganondorf, and everyone would have been screwed. But she made that sacrifice knowing that, hey, I may never return back to myself. And that made her badass. You don't need to do anything specific like, oh, we're gonna put the men in their place. I'm a strong, powerful, independent woman. Storm was already a badass. She was like, what could you do that would make her more badass than the typical modern sense of it of, oh, we're gonna put the men in their place. There's nothing. There's nothing that you could do in this modern era that would make her any more badass than she already was. And this is why people are so tired of this crap. Because you're taking a character that was already respected. She is a woman. She is a woman of color. She's a mutant. And in society, mutants are already looked at like they're fucking monsters. So she already has everything stacked against her. And she's still extremely powerful, extremely kind. She saves the world. Her powers are amazing. So what more can this woman do that would make her badass? Please tell me. What could she do? Nothing. But again, in the modern sense of it, she's going to constantly be putting Logan and Scott and Hank and Charles and Eric and everyone else, she's going to be putting them in their place. That's all it is. I mean, they Like, this is what the new team looks like, and like they've got Voldemort over there. Oh wait, that's Morph, who is apparently non-binary. It's like, what? You're getting so mad about a shape-shifting character being non-binary. Well, Mystique has no problem being genetically female. She's a shapeshifter, but she's a female. But I'm just gonna tell myself that this is Voldemort, that this is some weird freaking Harry Potter crossover, and we've got pregnant Jean right here, but this is what's gonna happen. Her right here, she's gonna put all these evil men in their place constantly, just now and forever, because that is the only thing that they could possibly do to make her badass. She was already badass in the original. What are y'all talking about? Jean Grey, aka the Dark Phoenix, clears as far as X-Men. Yeah, she can do whatever she wants. We don't need the fan service. Just make a good series. We all know what Storm can do. Yeah, her character has been around long enough to know where we know her strongest feats and all that. What are their pronouns? That's cool and all, but let's actually start with making the show good, because Storm being strong in a shitty show does nothing for me. Nice. Storm is a badass. Glad they're heading in the direction. Yeah, she was already badass. Just remember, strong equals masculine. Did he watch the old show or read the comics with her in it? Like, seriously. At least he said arguably. What? Storm has always been a badass. The animation looks worse than the actual 90s show. They gave Storm the LGBTQ plus haircut. Storm's powerful as fuck. No one can deny that. Like, she's Omega level with damn near limitless control over the weather and atmosphere. Sadly, she cannot be him, which she's on it when she's on a team with two telepaths who cook anyone on Earth with a thought, including her. Stop the glazing. Those look kind of good. Um, I'm starting to think people never watched the original '90s cartoon because she's always been one of the most powerful member. I wouldn't say the strongest and most powerful, but definitely one. Because you got to remember how many X-Men there are now. So we already know that Storm is an Omega level mutant, so her capabilities are that on the level of people like Iceman and Jean Grey. You basically just said Cars is a movie about cars. Rogue is by far the strongest X-Men team member, aside from Professor X, if he counts. Storm has always been badass. Two, most powerful and dangerous. Jean and Rogue would like to have a word with these writers. Yeah, I mean, Storm is incredibly powerful, but you've got Rogue, who has to wear gloves for a reason, and Jean, again, even without the Phoenix Force, I mean, she is incredibly powerful. I mean, so she's like, give me your list of at least of the main, like the original, like just in this small group. We're not counting Voldemort because Voldemort doesn't even belong there. He's in the Harry Potter universe, so I mean, I don't know how his Avada Kedavra would compare to anyone. I mean, Scott alone just fight that thing back. So Jean or anyone else. Hell, even Storm could just redirect that thing at him. So um, hell, Logan could probably just slash right through the damn thing. So Voldemort doesn't count. But of the group, including Charles, because I mean he's kind of the leader. So, from who do you think is the strongest to the weakest? Um, why do they keep sticking with Storm with the mohawk hair? Pity the fool. Did we watch the same show? I remember, even though it's been years, uh, Storm, yeah. I mean, she lasts 2 seconds against Cyclops. Yeah, we already had a badass Storm. This is, yeah, like everyone else is like, we've already had a badass Storm. What could they do now that would make her badass? And this is why people are so tired of modern bullshit. Because badass just means more masculine, and she's just going to be putting men in their place. Wow. Was she not already doing that without outright saying, oh, I'm going to fight the patriarchy? I mean, come on. Come on. So, but, tell me, strongest mutants in your opinion, just of the main group. Again, we're not counting Voldemort because he doesn't even belong in this universe. Um, so strongest to weakest, and what do you think they could honestly do with this character to make her more badass? Again, you sometimes your name alone, the respect that it commands, and this and that, like Galadriel, or choices you've made for the betterment of everyone else, like Zelda did, that alone makes you badass. So I don't know, this woman, again, she's already a woman. She's already a woman of color. She has amazing fucking powers. She's already living in a society where mutants are looked at like they're subhuman, and she works for someone, or and is in a group that saves the fucking planet. What more can you do to this woman to make her badass? Seriously. But anyway, let me know. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.